Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back to do ourselves a little bit of Lucha Underground. This is episode 23 of season 3. Byron, how'd you like the episode?
I refuse to answer to my slave name.
And what is your non-slave name now?
I wish to be known as Maraschino Sangria.
Yes, the Maraschino Sangria idea. Excellent.
Yes, I am my gimmick is that I am a midget, or what do they call the mini wrestlers?
Minis.
No, they don't.
They do.
Don't be so
They
racist.
actually do.
Do they? Oh, well, I'm like a mini with gigantism, and I'm drunk all the time.
I see.
And I dress a lot like, I dress exactly like Mascarilla Sagrada, but I have obvious wine stains everywhere.
Supersized Masquerita Sagrada with wine stains everywhere. Gotcha.
Exactly.
It's a solid gimmick.
I'm the world's tallest dwarf.
That would make you not a dwarf anymore.
Yeah. Shut up! I'm also the world's only talking mute.
I mean, that could be a thing.
Indeed. And I thought the episode was highly entertaining, sir.
Indeed. It was a nice rebound after a bit of weak episode 22.
See.
So we open up with Phoenix pulling into the garage, whatever that happens to be. And Melissa Santos is there to say hello and give him some encouragement heading into his match tonight. Which means, for those keeping track at home, he's kind of had a thing with Sexy Star. He's kind of had a thing with Katrina, and now he kind of has a thing with Melissa Santos. So
the next thing you know, he's going to be shacked up with Taya and Evilise at the same time, with Cobra Moon banging down the door.
That's true. He'll have stolen Cobra Moon away from Drago.
That would be entertaining. That's a feud.
Anyways, the story part of this is that the Moth is still stalking Melissa after having been tied up by his sister. So
see.
We continue with that storyline, and I'm fine with it.
Can't blame him.
I'm fine with it. We get Vinny Massaro versus Cage in the ring, and I was expecting more of a squash than this was. Vinny actually had some offense, not a lot of it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It looks like Vinny Mazzaro's had some rough times, as he's got some rips and some stains and some stuff. And Matt Stryker was kind of letting him have it for that. And we got a Who Better Than Cage chant, so yeah, that's good.
Who better than Canyon?
The only other thing really to note is, man, Cage has got one hell of a brace on that knee. I suspect a relatively major injury. But
I don't know about that. It wasn't that extensive. It was bulky, but I think it was just because his leg's fucking huge.
That could be it too, as well, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, it did what it does. It's Cage is still way more powerful than a jobber. Next up.
See,
we had another hype package for Rey Mysterio and Johnny Mundo, Juani Munderos, and it once again the voice Michael Chiavello is back. So let the kiboshing begin.
And you know what? That's the most sedate I've ever heard Michael Chiavello, and I'd prefer to hear him this way, unless somebody gets knocked the F out, in which case I need him to go all out crazy.
Mm-hmm. Then
I've actually heard him, as a side note, to totally interrupt you completely, I've heard him in some interviews and on some podcasts, and he doesn't seem like the kind of guy I want to hang out with. He just wants to say the dirtiest stuff possible. And not to shock you or anything, he just doesn't seem to have a filter. I don't think it's somebody that I'd really enjoy hanging out with.
Sounds like a couple people that we do hang around with, though.
That's true.
Moving on, we get Marty the Moth versus Saltador.
What does that name mean anyway? Because doesn't what's his nut mean just the rabbit?
I do not know,
Mr. Cisco.
I know it means something, but
you keep talking. I'll look up the Rabbit Tribe.
Okay. This was basically a crazy versus drugs match where Marty the Moth is crazy and Saltador is on a lot of drugs, and we got some "This is weird" chants and not really much of a spot fest. Really, only two spots to talk about. The Moth caught Saltador and gave him a a slam kind of powerbomb-esque thing into a wall. And, of course, terrorized Melissa Santos in the meantime, because he is stalking her, and he is creepy. And the only other real spot was Saltador did this thing where he's trying to wake his leg up for a super kick, which was weird. And Marty got the win after this kind of weird... This was kind of a night of, like, weird moves for finishers.
Right.
Marty did some kind of variation of a widow's peak into a facebuster.
Yeah, that was so he did looked like he was going for like a butterfly powerbomb, and then he turned it into a butterfly double knee facebuster thing. It was cool. I just don't know how to really explain it. It's one of those things you have to see. Oh, all right, I was going to double check that other finisher.
Mm-hmm. Did you have the answer to Saltador?
I have answers for both.
Okay. Yeah.
Mala suerte is bad luck. And Saltador is high jumper, long jumper. Like, you can use it for a bunch of different things. Apparently, they use it for track and field a lot. So you got, like, high jumper, long jumper, pole vaulter, trampolinist. But basically, high jumper.
Like a big jumper and bad luck. Gotcha.
Yeah, high jumper, goddammit. High is in, like, they're on drugs.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's even better. I actually did not think of
Yeah,
that.
man. Yeah, man!
Indeed. And then after...
I'm checking the Serpentor finisher.
Mm-hmm.
Keep talking, keep them interested.
Then we go on to Paul London and Malachuerta visiting Masquerita Sagrada, and they are... they're back to worship him again. That's really all there is to it. And the swagger of Masquerita Sagrada walking away from this, well, Paul London goes, that is a vision of divinity right there.
I agree. Like, I'm not going to disagree at all with that statement whatsoever.
You said it best. Paul London is much too weird for WWE, but he is perfect here.
Exactly. I would love to see Paul London be totally rich and famous, because then I want to see how insane he can get. I want Paul London to have so much money he can buy and sell Kanye, and I don't mean that in an American racist way, but like just as a level of fuck you money. Oh shit! Okay, so that was like a double pump handle flapjack, like an inverted flapjack, really.
Okay.
So, yeah, because like a flapjack, you're basically grabbing the guy by the waist and then dropping him down right on the face, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he basically double pump handled, swung him up in the air, flattened him out, and then dropped him down while they're holding hands. So, yeah, double pump handle flapjack.
I guess that would make sense as much as I can figure.
Yeah.
That is the finish to the next match, by the way. We're talking about.
Sorry,
it's fine. Then we had Marty going full on stalker in his stalker room, and Mariposa comes in and reminds him that family comes first, and he's going to make Melissa part of the family. And this was fucked up, but I liked it.
Yeah, listen, if you're going to stalk somebody, it's fine to stalk Melissa Santos because she is very attractive.
And we don't mean in real life. We're just meaning in a storyline sense.
Kayfabe only. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to stalk... If you were to... Okay, pop quiz, hotshot.
Okay.
If you're going to stalk, not in a creepy way, not in an... Okay, if you're going to stalk one female talent from Lucha Underground and not in an illegal, ridiculous way, who's your choice?
Oh, it's Melissa Santos.
There you go.
That's not even questionable.
That's money on the barrelhead every day.
Then we went on to Pindar versus Masquerita Sagrada, which ended in the double pump handle flapjack that we were talking about just a second ago.
And we were, well, I was going on about it, but there was a brief discussion about how, other than you could point to a couple of matches, but they managed to put Sagrada over not as a joke, like the way he wins matches by and large, I would say 90% of the time, look credible. Like, it's pro wrestling. We understand these things. And if I was Pindar, I would, just monkey stomp him right out the gate and then win the match. But it's from a pro wrestling standpoint, from a spot / doing moves type of standpoint, he looks like a credible dude. Like he's winning matches as a dude who's winning matches, not as a dude who's getting over as a joke, which the WWE doesn't seem to be able to figure out, and things like that.
Pretty much, yeah. About sums it up. The match itself is your typical Masquerade Sagrada match. It allows Pindar to do a lot of like big power moves on him because he's tiny. And he gets to do a lot of kind of like high-flying chain wrestling, I guess, is in a nutshell. A lot of arm drags, head scissors, that type of thing. And he got to give Cobra Moon a hell of a bitch slap. So I'm fine with that. Keep the pimp hand strong.
See.
And then... Oh, geez, hiccups.
Are you dying?
I'm not dying.
He's dying. Call the ambulance.
I'm not dying. Then Pindar hit the, like I said, the double pump handle inverted flapjack. Then we move on to the main event, which is Mariposa versus Phoenix. And match starts off with Phoenix being his typical gentlemanly self. He doesn't really want to hit the woman. And he quickly decides, yeah, I'm fine with hitting you, and hits her with a sick drop kick.
It was good times.
A good match. Nice DDT spot from Mariposa. Of course, the weird thing here is I'm talking about Mariposa, who's cheerleader Melissa, and she's in the same storyline as Melissa Santos, so that's always fun.
Indeed. It was like they only had about 10 minutes to do this match, and it was damn good.
Which I believe might have been Phoenix's shortest match ever.
It's very possible, other than all of the hiccups. Mio's dying.
I'm not dying, I just have hiccups.
Mio's dying. Mio's dying.
Gee, thank you.
Call the Amber Lamps.
Anyways, we get the end of the match with a nail in the coffin from Phoenix for the 3 count. He's off to face Marty the Moth in the next round. The round of 16 of the Cueto Cup. And we get a post-match assault from Marty the Moth that backfires on the Moth.
Very much so.
With Phoenix getting the upper hand against both of them.
And Melissa Santos looks muy apreciativo, which is not Spanish. Don't try and copy that. Yeah. Don't use that.
So we've now got Phoenix involved in the Moth and Melissa storyline. We're gonna get that match. We're gonna get Pindar versus Cage. Yeah. Kind of interesting. They're doing a lot of like heel stuff in the next round.
That is true, which should show the WWE something. Maybe you can do storylines outside your comfort zone, Vince, with your tiny testicles.
Pretty much, yeah.
Are you still dying?
I've still got the hiccups. Anyways, gonna wrap it up here because hiccups. We enjoyed the show. It was good. The action was good. The storytelling was good. And WWE needs to take lessons.
For reals. Please send flowers and condolences to Mio Dread's mother, care of somewhere in Ontario. Don'tbeacreepystalker.com.
I see. It's nice to know that you're prepping for my funeral already.
Well, I mean, it's obvious that your whole system is shutting down and you're dying rapidly, and it's very sad.
I'm just having digestive problems and hiccups.
Can I have your axe?
Which axe?
You know which one.
I have multiples. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, then I want all of them.
I have a vast weapons collection.
Neat.
I have a claymore and a katana and a war axe and a war hammer.
And you're gonna need all of them to fight off the demons possessing your body.
Sir, the demons don't possess my body. I just use them for fuel.
I don't believe that. They're trying to get out right now.
I didn't say they weren't trying to get out. I mean, they know they're going to be consumed. I mean, they want to escape.
Madness.
Anyways, we've gone on to that sidebar of my demonic possession. That's all.